Your bike isn't the problem. You are. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Trying out a different type of video today. A little bit of a rant. Some things I want to address here. Every week, every time I go on Instagram, Reddit, whatever, I see people constantly talking about the next upgrade they want to make to their bike, the next part they want to buy, whatever. The truth is, your bike isn't the problem. You are. 90% of riders are nowhere near above their stock bike's limits in skill. I know I'm sure not. And half these guys online buying more parts, whatever it may be, new tires. Oh, the stock tires suck, and I'm sliding around. They don't handle off-road well at all. They have no traction. You're just too scared to trust them, and you're not a good rider, period. You know what? Hot take here. The Dunlop D605s that KLX 300 comes stock with, and I believe a lot of other dual sports, are actually amazing dual sport tires, because that's what they are. 50% on-road, 50% off-road. They're good on the road, and they're just fine off-road, especially if you're actually a decent rider. And, you know, the problem is, people get wrapped up in thinking they need the latest, greatest gear. They need to keep up with the Joneses here. Like, stock tires are good. People think they need better because they suck at riding. That's the truth. I rode the stock. I literally just got the D606s a couple months ago. You know what? Yeah, I think they're more of like a 70% off-road, 30% on-road. I don't know. That's what they say, I think. They're better. I've noticed a slight difference. I wouldn't say people put these on new tires and they think they claim that it's night and day difference. No. You're just justifying your purchase. They make a little bit of a difference if you're really doing off-road. I mean, right now I'm on road. I'm doing a road ride, but I do ride probably about 70% off-road or close to it. I much prefer being off-road. That's why I bought this bike. But the stock tires served me great for 3 years before I upgraded. They're just fine. You know, I slid around a bit in maybe some muddy conditions sometimes, but I doubt these are going to be much different in it, or any tires for that matter, in slippery, muddy conditions. And I'll be the first to say, I am not above the gear craze. I like buying new gear. There are things I want to buy. There are things I've done to this bike to upgrade it. Things that I didn't need, like mirrors. But that's why I cheaped out on mirrors, because I thought the stock ones were stuck out super far and looked silly. Whatever. You know, I got new handlebars and so I can put these handguards on. You don't need titanium foot pegs when you can't stand up for more than 30 seconds without your legs turning to jelly, so all I'm saying is, before you go and buy that part, just ask yourself, am I fixing my riding, or am I fixing my bike? What am I actually getting this for? Because if you're trying to fix your riding, new gear, new parts does not help. And that new exhaust, the only thing it's doing is waking up your neighbors. No, people are removing their secondary throttle blade on these things, like, gives them 10% more power. Okay. Whatever. Most of these people don't have the skill to do a difficult steep hill climb anyways, so they need that 10% more power, if that even is true. I mean, honestly, I feel like the people I see doing all these ridiculous aftermarket upgrades are old guys riding FSRs at 25 kilometers an hour. And that's about what they do. You don't need new suspension to go on the FSR and ride for a day on some logging roads. It's actually a windy road, so pay attention here. Yeah, you don't need new suspension to ride some logging roads for a day and go over the odd bump and say you're an enduro rider. Half of you are afraid to drop your bikes anyways. Like, why did you even get a dual sport? I don't know. Now sure, guys, if your parts are actually worn out, or you're racing or something, doing hard enduro, you're actually pushing your bike to its limits, maybe it makes sense to get some new gear, some new parts for your bike, upgrade stuff. If you're actually skilled and you're pushing it to that point. But most of you aren't. And here's the main problem, is that people are getting their first dual sport, or whatever, getting any bike, and they think they have to upgrade half or more, at least half the bike. They think they have to swap out their tires right away, swap all their handlebars, swap all their foot pegs, swap all the mirrors, maybe put a new rear shock on, or entirely new suspension. It's like, it's just crazy, like, the amount people will spend right off the bat on their bike, yet they won't spend $50 on Say No to Slow by Chris Birch and actually develop their skills as a rider. Or some proper training even. They'll spend thousands of dollars on parts that they don't need. Imagine if you spent thousands of dollars on some one-on-one training with a pro. I know we have people like that where I am. I'm sure that in a lot of places around the world, you can get some really good training. And I want to talk, like, I haven't done that, and I have spent money on my bike. Do you know what else, though? People spend thousands of dollars on their bike, but they don't even have proper riding safety gear. They don't have a proper jacket. They don't have riding pants. And I know I'm just wearing friggin' jeans right now, whatever. But, like, they cheap out on stuff that's actually going to protect them. And spend ridiculous amounts of money on modding out their bike and putting a new exhaust on. Anyways, this was probably way too long-winded. And just did not make any sense. All I'm saying is, you do not need to upgrade anything on your new dual sport. I'm telling you, you buy a new bike, you are good for a long time before you need to be even thinking about any upgrades. Focus on the things that will make you safer and make you a better rider. After that, if you get to a point where you are pushing beyond your bike's limits, stock, talk to someone who's better than you and see what they recommend. All that being said, if you have money to blow, I guess just do whatever you want. But point is, ride more, spend less, develop your skills, have fun. Don't feel you need the latest and greatest. Alright, with that, I will see you next time.